Shannon, what is wrong right now, Patrick Mahomes?
Right now, Skip, he's pressing a little bit, and things are not going well. If you look at the first drive, Skip, they script it. You go right down the field because you have an idea what the defense is going to do. You script the first 15 plays. You hear that a lot, and a lot of teams have success. They methodically go right down the field, and then you're right on cue. You know, turnovers, we watch the Cowboys. We watch Tavon Diggs, Skip, get turnover after turnover week after week. And then we see Patrick Mahomes seemingly turn the ball over week after week. I mean, how unlucky must you be? I thought Josh Gordon could have caught the ball. It seems like
you're kidding.
It seems like, well, you just said Baker Mayfield, the passes that Jarvis could have caught.
That jump bullet?
But let me ask you a question. But how unlucky must you get a jump bullet hits your guy in the helmet and pops up in there?
I know, but it goes right through Josh Gordon's hands because I don't think Shannon Sharpe could have caught that ball.
I think I would have. I mean, if somebody throwing something on the field, I'm thinking
he jumps over two defenders and throws a rocket right through your hands, and it hits McKinnon right in the head.
Yeah, so how unlucky must you be for the ball to hit McKinnon? How many times have you seen a ball hit your player in the head, pops up in the air, and it goes for an interception?
I don't know. It seems to happen about 50-50. When it pops up in the air in the end zone, there are so many defenders.
Yes, but how many times is it hitting your player in the head? Yes, when the ball caroms up like that, Skip, and it hangs up in there that long, absolutely. But I think the thing is, Skip, also, Andy and Eric Bieniemy are not doing him a great favor. Skip, they run the ball down the field. 6 straight, they hand the ball off. Run it down the field. 4 touchdowns. Come back out the next possession, and they throw 4 passes, and they have to punt the football. That's the problem. And the defense are saying, since Tampa lined up in shell coverage with the 2 deep safeties, every defense they've seen since has been that. Now, what teams try to do normally, Skip, we're going to try to disguise it. We're going to make it look like cover 2, and we're going to play single high safety. We're going to make it look like 2, we're going to play quarters, or we're going to play 5, we're going to play 6.
Yeah.
No. Not when they see them. Skip, the safeties are lined up deep. It's cover 2. We dare you to run it. Skip, on the last play that Mahomes got sacked, they got 6-man box with a nickel corner. And they're trying to pass it. Skip, we understand that the Chiefs are a vertical team. But, Skip, when you're in the 5-yard line, where the hell are you going to go? You going to run verticals up in the stands?
Yep.
So the windows are really small. Run the football, Andy. Run the football, EB.
It's not who he is and has never been.
Well, until you run the football
I agree.
and force them to drop that safety down, it's going to be a grind. Because everybody's playing you this way. They've seen Tampa have success doing it like that. And your offensive line, Skip, teams are still able to generate pressure, even though with 4. So now it makes your job even harder because they forcing Mahomes one way or another, and we try to, let's force him to his left. Let's make him try to throw off balance. He got a good throw in last night where he sidearmed that one to Tyreek. But, Skip, when you press like they're pressing right now, Mahomes' offense, Kelsey got frustrated, had a few drops, had a fumble. That's what it just piles up. It adds on. The mere fact that the defense had to be on the field last night with Daniel Jones with a chance to either tie the game or win the game lets you know just how bad the offense is struggling in Kansas City.
Okay, so this young man has been your favorite quarterback this side of Aaron Rodgers. He has been my homeboy on this show since day one.
Yep.
Although we had him in here that first year on the show before
he got drafted.
And neither of us really knew that's going to happen, right?
So we look at it like his voice, he sounded like he's 8, 9 years old. He going to be a quarterback?
8 or 9 years old, and I'd watched him a lot at Texas Tech, but I didn't see this coming. I didn't see an early MVP.
No.
I watched him against my man Baker Mayfield in one of the all-time, it may have been the all-time shootout in Lubbock, and it was just off the charts. And Mahomes' numbers in that game, I forget what he threw
over 700. He had over 800 total yards.
But my team, my Oklahoma Sooners, did win the game ultimately. But I didn't see this coming, and to Andy Reid's credit, he did. But to me, and I'm blaming Andy as much or more than I'm blaming Patrick for this, Patrick Mahomes has now become a parody of himself, a caricature. And it would be comical to me if it weren't becoming so sad, because he's a good kid. He's done good things for the league. He's represented himself well, but he is trying harder and harder to live up to the hype. And the hype is what his coach loved, because his coach went and found him in the draft and traded up to snag him in the draft and said to the NFL world, watch this. The coach loves to be the smartest man in the room. The coach is beloved by the media across the board. He's always been beloved because he's always been so accessible and such a good man, and good-hearted man. And everybody said, didn't he coach your brother?
Yeah,
at
he's
some
offensive
point?
coordinator with my brother in Green Bay.
That's right. Okay. So he's beloved around the league, and yet he gets a pass for passing so much because it hurt him in Philadelphia, and he became such a player's coach, and they got soft and they got out of shape, and he's almost too nice for his own good. But he also has an ego as big as he is, because it's an ego that needs to constantly tell you, I am a revolutionary offensive genius. So what did we see right out of the box last night when they got it 2nd and goal at the 5 with 8:30 left in the first quarter? Wait, come on. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, now you put Kelsey in the Wildcat, and you snap it straight to Kelsey, and he goes, behind his back to Patrick, who finds nobody open. It was just a bust of a play. Yeah. It didn't fool anybody. And it's hot doggy. It's show offy. It's like, just stop it, Andy. We know you got lots of bells and lots of whistles, and every once in a while they'll pull off some red zone play where you say, okay, that's pretty clever.
Right.
That wasn't very clever to me, and it put Patrick in a bad spot. He had nowhere to throw, nowhere to go.
Because, Skip, look, when the formation like this, even though he did all that, they're going to run what we call Q89, which is a sprint option. If you go back and run this play, Skip, watch what Bradbury does.
Let's see.
Run this play again. Bradbury knows what's coming. Now, he's at the bottom of the screen. Watch how he jumps outside of Tyreek.
Bradbury, one of the best corners in football. And he just said, nope, I'm staying. Yep. Okay.
So you do all that, but I know what you're still running. All that razzle, Skip, at the end of the day, it's still cake. You put whipped cream, you put strawberry, you put ice cream. It's still cake. So you did all that. You're still going to run sprint option, and I'm going to jump outside of Tyreek and take it away.
Okay, so to your point, everybody has figured out if we just play 2 deep safety and try to keep him in the pocket and force him try to play safe wide,
right,
where you have somebody who can keep him honest. Because if you just let him run with the ball,
right,
he can run with the ball.
Take off.
He's not a speed demon,
no,
but he's a big kid. He's bigger than you think he is, and he accelerates well for his size. Because what do you think he weighs? 235?
I would say 235, yeah.
Okay, and he can gash you with his legs, as he did last year at Tampa. Remember, he had a huge running play at the end that won the game, clinched the game for
and remember
him.
In the playoffs, Skip, that year when the Super Bowl, he got Houston and he got Tennessee.
With big runs. So you can't let him loose, and they never let him loose last night. He had a couple of little runs, but not any big ones.
Right.
Okay, so now let's go back to what just happened. So you just wasted that down, the second goal.
That's a giveaway.
All right, so now it's 3rd and goal at the 5, and Patrick rolls out, and we just saw the play once. Let's see it one more time. But this is the jump pass. It's just a little out of control, and to your point, he is pressing. He's trying to force the action, and he gets loose a little bit, but then he tries a jump pass, and it's into high traffic, and it's tough. Maybe Josh Gordon snags it, but he hadn't played much football.
Exactly, and it's right there on top of him, Skip. And the thing is, when a guy jumps, Skip, what we call flashing, because his hands jump, you're looking at, like, okay, and now all of a sudden, and that's what happened to Josh. And like you said, he hadn't played a whole lot.
So what have I told you from the start? I never backed off this. This kid is riding the magic carpet, but he is playing on borrowed time, because in this league, all the jump passes and the left-handed passes and the no-look passes, they can only take you so far. Because the greatest quarterback ever, and I'm not trying to uplift Brady any more than he needs to be uplifted, but he doesn't do any of that. He just throws it from the pocket. He doesn't run at all, and there are different ways to, so to speak, skin the cat.
Right.
But the best way, the safest way, the one that will endure, the one that has won 7 Super Bowls is you just slice them and dice them from the pocket.
Right.
You speed read them, and you find the open man, and you hit him with the catchable ball. And you don't need to throw it left-handed. You don't need to throw it behind your back or between your legs or sidearm or no look. You just pick them to pieces. And Patrick, at times, has gone through stretches where he'll just stand in the pocket and destroy you.
Right.
but he loves to destroy you by throwing over your head.
Right.
And if the two safeties they're playing 30 yards off the line of scrimmage, and they're just saying Tyreek can't run by us.
We're not going to let you
because we'll let him get a running start, but we're fast enough that he's not going to get behind us.
Right.
And we went late in the game last night, and Patrick was 0 for 8 on passes of 20-plus yards.
Right.
And I'll get to in a minute the one that went for 24, and we'll see how that happened. But the point is, now we get back to the play in question that you brought up. There's the sidearm throw to Tyreek. This is 11:09 of the second quarter. It's 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 43. Well, now it's Patrick trying to be Patrick, and he rolls the wrong way. And this is a hellacious athletic throw. And you say, nobody can do that except Patrick Mahomes. Okay? But if you keep trying, this one worked.
Yeah.
And yet it was crazy what you're trying to force it through a tight window.
Yes.
And you got it to Tyreek, and it went for a grand total of 11 yards. And it got you a first down, and it got you a lot of oohs and a lot of ahs and a lot of drop jaws around the country. Yeah. Only Patrick can do that.
I'm sure they were talking about it on the telecast.
They were. And, yeah, only Patrick can do that. But if you keep trying to do that, it will hurt you more than it will help you because you have to win conventionally over time in this league because the defenses are just too good.
But what has happened, Skip, is that because his routine throws aren't there, because he normally would be able to get Hardman. He would always be able to get Tyreek on a deep throw. Now the windows are compressed, are condensed, so he's going to have to change arm angles just to try to fit the ball in the windows because there's 7 guys dropped.
I got it.
Because they don't even care. We dare you to run, and even if you do have success running, we know you won't stick with it because that's not how you want to win. Okay. Coaches would rather win their way, Skip.
That is correct.
Let me take this back. They would rather lose their way than win some other way.
I agree with that.
Andy can run the football, Skip. They were running, getting 4 yards a clip. And he's like, nah, come on, let's start throwing it again.
It doesn't do anything to enhance Andy's legacy to run the football. It doesn't do anything for Patrick's psyche to take the check down, take the check down, take the check. They're daring him to just toss it to the back. And a number of times he tossed it to the back.
He did, and got good yardage.
And here's a key stat this year for Patrick Mahomes. His yards per attempt are a career low 7.3 because the 2 deep safeties are forcing him. There's nobody out there. And they're doubling Kelsey. So they're playing 2 deep safety, and they're saying you can't have Kelsey because what did the Bucs do in the Super Bowl? They put Levante on him, but he had help through the Super Bowl. They just said, no, he's not going to wear us out.
Right. A lot of times, Skip, what they're doing is what we call, and I got this a lot of coverage, they Skip, you play a zone, but you play one man underneath. And so it's like, I got man, but if I beat him, I'm still going to be running through somebody else's zone. So how do I beat that? But Kelsey's going to have to understand and I noticed some things he did last night, Skip. He's playing too big. If you're a boxer, you never see a boxer stand like this. He stands like this. So what Kelsey needs to do, instead of allowing the DB to get both hands on him, he needs to pick a side, pick a shoulder, get skinny, as we call. So take a shoulder, left or the right. Have enough confidence, even if if I want to run an out-breaking route, Skip, I had enough confidence that I could release inside, do what I needed to do at the top of my route, and still get to where I needed to be. But when you give a guy this, Skip, he's letting Bradbury, he's letting these guys get both hands in his chest. Well, you're going to lose every time.
And what has happened over the years, Kelsey has become his security blanket. When in doubt, he just flings it up to 87. And it doesn't really matter how accurate the pass is because 87 can really go get it. Until now, when he's just being taken out of the play. So Patrick, last night, he threw 18 balls to Tyreek 18 times, and 12 of them were caught for a grand total of 94. It wasn't 12 for 220 like against the Bucs, right? It was 12 for 94. Well, you can live, you know, you can survive
because a lot of it is catch and run. As long as it's not 50, 60 yards down the field, you're good with Tyreek doing that.
So Kelsey last night gets only 7 targets and catches 4 for a grand total of 27. That means you'll stay in the game. And so a Giants team with little to no offense itself is hanging in the game because look what they have. They have no Saquon. Galladay's hurt and got hurt during the game where Sterling Shepard and Dante Pettis and then even Tony got hurt late in the game. He had a hand injury.
Sterling Shepard hurt his quad. He got left the game.
That's what I'm saying. So all of a sudden you're down to nobody. Evan Ingram, you know, like you don't have much left. And I got to tell you this. last night, Patrick was very lucky that the opposing quarterback was Daniel Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it's somebody else, I don't think you're going to lose that.
They lose that game.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you get a pick in the end zone, Skip, and what does Daniel Jones do? He comes right back and throws and hits 50 right in his chest.
Okay. All right. I got it. And it canceled. It just canceled. Here you come right back. Okay. So now let's look at the strip sack. So this is 9:39 left in the game. It's 3rd and 9 at the Giants' 12. So this is a huge play. And Patrick gets he's trying to hold the ball, and he gets stripped, and he got a huge break because his lineman fell on it.
Right.
What if they don't? You have just blown, because at least you preserved a field goal, right? Yes. So you preserved your field goal just because you got a lucky bounce. Right. So that time you got a lucky bounce, right? And then what happened after that? We've got, let's see the next one. This is 4:29 left in the game. This becomes the winning drive, and Patrick throws an interception. He throws an interception, but
he knows it's offside.
I think he saw it, but I'm not sure he did. I'm not sure.
But
it wasn't like he threw it 70 yards trying to go for broke. It was just a bad idea throw that got picked, and the Giants left end just jumped slightly, slightly jumped the gun.
In a situation like that, you see how he hits the ball?
Yep.
If you're going to throw in the zone, this ball's got to go. It can't go with a hitch. He hitches.
Yep.
Now the guy, he gives the guy an opportunity. That ball needs to be on his way before the the receiver is coming out of his break. That ball needs to be halfway there. Look, he's waiting on it.
Okay, I got it. So then he finally does hit Kelsey the very next play, and there's some phantom face mask call. I don't know what it was.
It's because Kelsey had the ball high and tight.
But there's
that's
no
not a face mask.
There's no grab of the mask.
No, there's not.
The grab is below of his hand.
Yeah, he got his hand because he got the ball high and tight.
Okay.
And his head turns. They think it's a face mask.
Okay, so he finally got an open Kelsey underneath, and then they get 15 more to move it into scoring position, into field goal position. Yeah. And now we get to 3:27 left. We get to his longest, quote-unquote, completion of the night. If we could see this one to Mecole Hardman, that's a pass. It's that little touch pass, like in the backfield. That qualified as Patrick's longest completion of the night, a little touch pass to Mecole that went for 24 yards. Well, it has come to this for Patrick Mahomes. Right. That's all you got, man. Right. And the Giants are pretty good on defense, and they're well coached, and I give you that. But, man, this is Patrick as a shell of himself. Right. And then what is the play of the night for Patrick Mahomes? What did he get the most credit for? It has come to this for Patrick. It's this play. He decides, I got nothing. I'm going to take the sack. When did you ever want Patrick to take the sack? And everybody's saying, he didn't do anything stupid. Right? He didn't fling it into the end zone and get it.
That's the box guy. Okay. Run the football.
Okay.
First of all, you should have run.
No, that's just a spy.
But Skip, look at if you go back, look at this. Run the football. Where do you think you're going to throw it at? They got 7 guys in coverage.
But they are spying Patrick Mahomes because they know he can gash you with his legs. And they're just saying, I'm not going to let you out. We're going to come and get you. And to Patrick's credit, he's had such a long, hard struggle that he realized, I do have the field goal. Right. It will put us ahead. I will just fold up, protect the football, and take my medicine. Yes. Well, when has he ever taken his medicine? He's never had to take his medicine, right?
Well, hopefully that's a learning, because there have been times we've seen him, Skip, in a situation like that. What did he try to do? Put the ball in his left hand and try to make a play.
That's what I'm saying. So, he didn't do anything wild. Usually, the Patrick Mahomes who's trying to live up to the hype that Andy Reid helped create would try to do something out of his mind.
Sunday notwithstanding, I think one of Tom Brady's greatest attributes is that early on he understands the complexion of the game, how the game is going to be played. You look at him against the Rams. He's like, you know what? This is not going to be a high-scoring game. I cannot put the ball in harm's way. He made that one interception in the Super Bowl. Yep. He made that one mistake early, Skip, and from that point on, they started running. They started hitting Edelman. There was nothing really down the field until he hit Gronk. Yep. He understands that, you know what, in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, our defense is in control. I don't need to do anything crazy. If it's there, I'll take it. If not, hey, I'll throw it in the ground. I'll throw it over the head. I'll live to see another day.
Okay.
Look, and I don't really know what to make of Kansas City's defense. I just know this. They played Daniel Jones. Do I think they're as good as what they displayed last night? No, I do not. And I don't know what Daniel Sorensen, I don't know if he has a video. I don't know if he has a tape. But Skip, there's no way he should be playing. Skip, on the touchdown to Evan Ingram, number 50 looks at him and does this. He said, we got him combo. Stay outside. Skip, he's looking, and he gets beat outside.
Yep.
Why? How?
Yep.
Bruh. 50 looks at him and says, look, we got this. And he gets beat outside. Skip, look at this. And after 50 had just told him, said, bro, we got this. You and me and you.
Yep.
And I'll be damned if he don't get beat outside. He looking in the backfield. He has outside leverage. James Bradbury, you ain't getting outside. You ain't running sprint option on me.
I got it. So one last play I got to show you because we went back and forth about this. We even had Patrick on the show because he wanted to give me a little grief about it.
Yeah.
But it was the Super Bowl play,
right.
And it's the 3rd and 15 play from the 35 in the fourth quarter, 7:13 left in the game.
Okay.
And remember, they're down 20-10, and he has a rusher in his face, and he just throws it up for grabs. He throws what I thought was a punt.
Right.
And I kept telling you, Tyreek had to come back, retreat, and fair catch this punt. And he got away with it. It's a crazy, wild throw when you're down 20-10 in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And if it gets intercepted, the game is over because it's 7:13 left, you're down 10. It's virtually going to be over.
Right.
But that's the magic carpet he used to ride, where he would just fling whatever, wherever, and get away with it.
Well, you can run plays like that with single high safeties. But now
single high,
right?
yep.
But now you got 2 deep safety, Skip, and they prevent that. So what they're doing is says, look, we're not going to give you all this speed.
Yep.
We know you want to get vertical, but we're going to take Tyreek, we're going to take Harmon, all these guys that can run 4.3 or below. We're going to take those guys away, and we're going to make you nickel and dime. And what did they do, Skip? The first drive was what, like almost 7 minutes. We feel that if you keep putting this ball up in the air enough, we'll get a tip, we'll get a carom, and it'll be our day. And that's what happens. We're not going to give you the one chunk play.
Yep.
We're going to make you paper cutters down the field. And we believe that you'll make a mistake before you hit pay dirt.
Yep.
And it paid off for him last night.
Well, all I know is that in the end, this league will expose you for what you are. And Andy Reid's exotic creation of my homeboy,
Right.
It's getting exposed because
Right.
the league finally said, aha, we found out how to make you look average.
Right. I don't know why they don't play Tampa like that, because Tom Brady's not going to go anywhere.
No.
Just play coverage and just put pressure on him.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.